Have you ever wondered how a small stick of explosive material can bring down massive rock formations, demolish old buildings, or carve tunnels through mountains? It might look like pure destruction on the surface, but there's actually a fascinating blend of chemistry, engineering, and precision behind it all. So how does dynamite actually work? Today, we're uncovering the science behind this iconic and powerful invention that has shaped the modern world, right here on History of Simple Things. To really understand how dynamite works, we need to rewind the clock to the 1860s. Picture this. Construction workers are trying to build railways through mountains. They need to blast through solid rock. But the explosives they're using, mostly nitroglycerin, are incredibly dangerous. Just a small shake or a change in temperature could cause a deadly explosion. It was so unstable that transporting it was a gamble with death. Then came a man named Alfred Nobel. Yes, the same guy behind the Nobel Prizes. He was a chemist and inventor who wanted to tame nitroglycerin and make it safer to handle. In 1867, he figured out a way to do just that. He discovered that when you mix nitroglycerin with a certain kind of absorbent material called diatomaceous earth, it becomes much more stable. He wrapped this mixture in paper tubes and gave the invention a name that would become famous worldwide: dynamite. So what's actually inside a stick of dynamite? At its core, dynamite contains nitroglycerin, the same highly explosive liquid Nobel was working with. Nitroglycerin is incredibly powerful. It contains oxygen within its own molecules, which means it doesn't need air to burn. When it detonates, it breaks down very rapidly and produces a huge amount of hot gas in a very short time. But dynamite isn't just a bottle of nitroglycerin. That would be way too dangerous. Instead, nitroglycerin is soaked into an inert, porous material like diatomaceous earth or sawdust. This stabilizes it and makes it safer to transport and handle. This mixture is then packed into a cylindrical stick and sealed, usually with wax or another coating to keep moisture out. The result? A portable, powerful, and relatively safe explosive. Now here's where it gets really interesting. How does a stick of dynamite go from a silent, stable object to a deafening explosion? It's all about controlled detonation. You can't just light a stick of dynamite with a match like a firecracker. It's actually pretty hard to set off with fire alone. Instead, dynamite needs a special device called a blasting cap, sometimes also known as a detonator. The blasting cap is a small tube filled with a more sensitive explosive, such as lead azide or mercury fulminate. When the blasting cap is triggered, either electrically or with a fuse, it explodes. That explosion is strong enough to set off the nitroglycerin inside the dynamite stick. Think of it like a chain reaction. A tiny explosion from the cap sets off the much larger explosion inside the dynamite. Without the cap, dynamite is just sitting there, minding its own business. But with that one spark, it becomes a powerhouse of destruction. So, what exactly happens in that split second after detonation? When the nitroglycerin molecules inside the stick break apart, they release a massive amount of gas, we're talking thousands of liters, along with a ton of heat and pressure. This happens so fast that the expanding gas creates a shock wave, traveling outward at supersonic speeds. That shock wave is what causes all the destruction. It shatters rock, knocks down walls, and sends debris flying. It's not the fireball you should be scared of. It's the sudden, intense pressure wave that does the most damage. And all of that happens in milliseconds. It's over before your ears even stop ringing. Now, even though Nobel made dynamite safer than pure nitroglycerin, it's still no joke. Over time, the nitroglycerin in a stick of dynamite can start to leak out, a process known as sweating. When that happens, it becomes dangerous again, because now you have an unstable liquid sitting around that could detonate if jolted or dropped. That's why modern storage facilities follow very strict regulations when it comes to handling and storing dynamite. It's kept in cool, dry places, away from vibrations, heat, and friction. In fact, many industries have shifted towards safer modern explosives like ANFO, ammonium nitrate fuel oil, which are less sensitive and more cost-effective. In mining, for example, dynamite is used to break apart rock to access valuable minerals deep underground. In construction, it can be used for demolition, taking down old buildings safely and efficiently. And in certain rescue operations like controlled avalanches, dynamite can be used to trigger snowslides in a safe, predictable way. Even though it has a dangerous reputation, dynamite is more than just a weapon. It's a tool that helped build the modern world. These days, dynamite isn't as common as it once was. Safer and more specialized explosives have taken its place in many industries. As we mentioned earlier, ANFO is one of them. But it's also a reminder. Raw power always comes with responsibility. When handled correctly, dynamite is an incredible tool. When handled carelessly, it's a disaster waiting to happen. So the next time you see a bundle of dynamite in a movie or hear about blasting during road construction, you'll know there's more going on behind the scenes than just a loud boom. Dynamite is a masterpiece of chemical engineering, a combination of volatile energy and clever stabilization. Thank you for watching. If you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history of simple things. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories woven through the smallest details.